So here is Uwe Boll back on track, and I have a few things I recognized in the last few months going around here in Vancouver. Every fucking retard has a beard now, and they think they're so cool. They have a suit on, but they have a beard like Grizzly Adams. And I don't know what that made to people or to men. I mean, it's I hate beards. It's itchy, unhygienic, not sexy at all. But the coolest guys, I think, they are like this skinny marathon running guys, but they have a big, big beard, and I don't know what that means. I don't know what they want to tell me with that beard. Maybe they want to say, I am really, really, even if I'm urban and I don't have a dog, I'm not in the nature, but I'm in the gym every day and I'm a broker and I have that beard, it looks like I'm still the guy from the wilderness or whatever. I have no clue what that psychological makes with people, but you're not better, you're not stronger, you're not more natural, you're not more connected to the nature if you have that beard. Sorry to tell you, it's just completely bullshit, nothing else, And then the other thing is, also here in that neighborhood, where the bored housewives living, everybody has only Lululemon yoga pants on 24/7. Like, they're all looking like that woman who basically lived from the money the husband makes in screwing other people over. They're running around the whole day, driving with their Mercedes 500 van, around or Tesla, 85 S85, and then they they're acting like they're always doing something entrepreneurish, but in reality they're only going from the spa to waxing to sunscreen. Then they're picking up the kids, tanning and yoga, of course, and then they're getting ready and going out for dinner. So it doesn't make any sense. It's pissing me off. All that people pissing me off. That is all that people always. The beard guys too, like, make me really want to do rampage. Look here in the Hollywood Report of the Weekend, all the people with the beard. Everybody has a beard, even Jimmy Kimmel now. It doesn't make any sense for me, and it's completely absurd. And then next subject matter is, I have a restaurant, as you all know, the Bauhaus restaurant in Vancouver. It is the best restaurant in Canada. I was the only Michelin star chef. Only if you ever come to Vancouver, you will actually see me there too. But the point is all that shitty restaurants who buy the cheapest food because they want to have the price range going, 15 to 20 bucks for a main course, means you buy garbage. But you act not like this. So all that restaurants making up, they have the name like tavern, eatery, bar food, wet food, or wet bar, and local farmers stuff, farm to table stuff, whatever, organic. We're so organic. They all make it up. And it's all completely bullshit. And no restaurant food is better because you name it cool. And if you write it 100 times on local, fresh, blah, 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 it doesn't make it better. There is good food and bad food, period, and local means not good, or local means also not organic. And not all organic is fresh. There are a lot of scams in the organic food market too, And a lot of that farmers markets, what they do? They go to Costco, buy the shit and sell it at the farmers market. It's completely like a scam, a lot of things, And they're talking about food. The absurd thing is now, I mean, to be a vegetarian, I can understand. People hate that idea to eat living animals and whatever, But vegan, it doesn't make any sense. What do you want to gain with vegan? We had people coming in the restaurant like, I'm vegan, and I like, what do you want to eat? I can give you a salad and charge you $100 for it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, Like, if you cannot even use milk or cheese or eggs and stuff like this, it's not animal abusing to get free run eggs. Chicken have eggs. They put eggs down and we can eat them. It's not animal abusing. It's or cheese, like getting the milk out of a cow is actually necessary. Otherwise, the fucking cow explodes. I mean, that is the saying. It's and as long it's organic, and I'm a big animal lover, as everybody knows. So I don't see any reason, political reason, to be a vegan. It doesn't make any sense, and you reduce your what you can eat so much down. I had a little shoot for a movie with a friend of mine in Hamburg, and we went to McDonald's, right? And they are vegans. The only thing they could actually drink was black coffee. Nothing else. I mean, it doesn't mean, and they couldn't eat anything at McDonald's, for example, you know. And I just don't get it. What you gain with it? You reduce yourself so much. I love food so much that it's like I just cannot believe it. And I personally think to eat meat and fish is the healthiest way to live, is to eat everything, but limited, you know, a day where you have only some pasta and some salad and some veggies, and to have a mix, you know. Fresh fish has so much like positive things for your oils and a lot of minerals and oils and fats you need also as cancer prevention and everything, you know. So and as long it's organic, as long it makes not animals suffer to eat it, I eat meat, you know. So that is the thing. But on the other hand, the other thing what is completely absurd in days like today is allergies, you know. Now everybody comes in restaurants, I'm allergic against this, I'm allergic against this, I cannot eat this, I cannot eat this. And I think it's the cheapest excuse to say I don't like something is now people say they have allergies about it. It doesn't make any sense. And it shouldn't be like this. When I grew up, there were no allergies at all. Like, there were no allergies testing, and everybody ate everything. Nobody gave a fuck about it. You know, that you had maybe one guy out of 10,000 who were really allergic against something, would, if eat it, he would collapse. But now, if you go in the average big city in North America, everybody's allergic against something. And that is completely ridiculous and unacceptable for me. I can't eat this. I mean, what the fuck? It's completely crazy. Yeah. And now the last subject matter for today is when you see, like with my kids, when they're sitting in front of Family Channel and all the Disney shows or whatever, that Selena Gomez stuff and what started with Hannah Montana and so on, that early sexualization of girls being dressed like fucking prostitutes with 9 or 10 years old, the dancing mamas and stuff like this, that is so bad for society. That is stuff where I'm super conservative on. I hate that. And I think it's the downfall of the civilization. And I think also that there's a reason why a lot of girls today take the pill when they're like 13. And I think that is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think teenagers should have sex before they're at least 16 or 17 years old. And before that, I mean, they can maybe kiss a little, but not more. And I think it's so bad for the psychological situation, also for later. To be so early sexualized and sexualized and it's looking shit in TV, like your look at Myra Cyrus and people like this. They're running around like fucking prostitutes in Brazil at the beach, you know, with bikinis in LA or on stage or whatever, you know. I mean, it's ridiculous and I'm totally against it, and I think it's really, really bad for the upcoming generations. That was me for today.
Thanks. Thank you.
Matt Sullivan has a new girlfriend. Actually, he should be running away from her.
Hello, Maddie.
But not into the woods, because that is where her family lives.
You got a big party! And we're coming to get you! Come on out, Sullivan! We're gonna play! Run, boy!
They hate him.
You hit her with your fucking car! What? Why would someone want to be doing that?
And want to see him dead. This is not what he had imagined.
Are you honestly telling me that I'm on my own here?
Hey there. Jesus. What are you doing out here driving like that?
But he has no choice.
Bill, no.
Yeah!
3 years years ago, an incident changed his life.
Usually you refer to that night as the accident.
Have you ever seen something so strange that you were at a loss for words?
And now, no one knows which reality is true.
See that?
Blackwoods.
I want to help you now.
Here we go! Here is Uwe Boll, and talking about a little the box office and what's going on in the film world. This weekend we had a lot of new releases. The one what tanked completely, Gem and the Holograms, a PG-rated live-action musical version of the animated TV show with 1.3 million, an absolutely disaster, and I gave a shit about it. Rock the Casbah with Bill Murray and as him Bruce Willis. I had that script on my desk 7 or 8 years ago, and I loved that idea that a rock group basically tries to get the career back going in actually going on tour in Afghanistan, because of course would get all the like press talking about it, and it was a great comedy, and then I lost track, never made the movie, and now it's done as Rock the Casbah with Bill Murray. I'm looking forward to watch the movie, but I will watch it on VOD because 1.5 million opening means that movie is dead on arrival. Another movie, what I have to let my dog out quick here. She always makes her own rounds in the neighborhood. So another movie what totally tanked, and I'm so happy that it's finally tanking and going away forever out of the movie theaters, is Paranormal Activity Part 150. What a piece of shit from A to Z. That movie shit was unbelievable. Same joke like Blair Witch Project was, like zero scary, just stupid, idiotic bullshit found footage dirt. And it tanked totally. And now Vin Diesel, The Last Witch Hunter, an absolutely flop again on 11 million box office. And the thing is this, because the Fast and the Furious franchise works, that means not that Vin Diesel works, because he didn't. That is a thing where a lot of people, they just, it would be like Mark Ruffalo will think now he can draw box office because he plays Hulk or something. It's just bullshit. And if you are in a franchise, and Vin Diesel, of course, is the main guy in the Fast and the Furious franchise, but it's the franchise what works and not Vin Diesel. If you have Vin Diesel, he will ask you for $15-20 million payday. He maybe got that for the $75 million The Last Witch Hunter. What is, of course, the same shit like Riddick was and all the other shit he did. You know, so I mean, it's just no surprise that that movie completely tanked, and that should never got produced in the first place. Steve Jobs, I don't get it. The Ashton Kutcher movie about Steve Jobs was not so bad, but good enough to watch it in TV, basically. And now, because Michael Fassbender is a better actor as Ashton Kutcher on it, like now the new Steve Jobs is coming from Danny Boyle, but it, of course, tanked also totally, because this kind of biopics, they don't work, especially not about a guy who just developed computers. I mean, it is the fact, right? So, I mean, Steve Jobs was a genius, but it's way more interesting to read the biography about him, to watch a docu about Steve Jobs, as to see another movie after the first one already tanked. And that whole weekend shows the main problem what's going on right now. To get any attention in the movie theaters, to make any box office, you have to spend $30 to $100 million before you open that movie in the US theaters. And that is the reason that Bruce Willis and John Cusack and everybody and Nicolas Cage are all direct to DVD now, because they don't draw anybody anywhere. But they still getting movies done for $20, $30, $40 million production budgets, and then they're getting sold to other territories in Spain and Italy and France and Germany, whatever, where the local distributor still thinks, yes, I buy it, I bring it in the movie theaters, but also they flop there, right? So it's theatrical movie business is money pissing in the wind. That is the reality of theatrical movie business. Any mediocre movies like $5 million, $10 million, $20 million budgets, $30 million budgets, 1 out of 50 makes the advertising budget back. 49 will lose the production budget and part of the advertising budgets, and you cannot compensate that with video and TV revenues down the road, because TV pays you $1 million here, 500,000 there, but you don't recover 30, 40 million losses in advertising budgets. Also, to Hollywood Reporter, Variety, and all that other bullshit that's out there writing idiotic articles, please tell your readers and tell the audience and educate them a little that half of the box office goes to the exhibitor, to the theaters. So if somebody makes 11 million, like The Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel, only 5.5 will actually come back to the producers, and they spend at least 40 million to release that movie or 30 million to release that movie. So they are down 75 million production costs plus 25 million lost advertising spend. So they're already over $110 million in the loss. And that is the thing. I don't get it. Why so many idiots still spending so much money to make movies and losing, like Megan Allison, whatever. Please, Larry Ellison, stop your daughter, because she takes the actors away from me. I want the actors. I have better projects, but I cannot pay so much. So. And look, Nicolas Cage. I have a great movie to do with him. The last hours, like 12 hours. I made him an offer two months ago for almost, I don't know what even offered, 900,000, right, to shoot the movie in Bulgaria. Great action movie, better as Taken, better as Transporter. I don't even get an answer, because some other idiots still give Nicolas Cage 2 or 3 million per movie, but he's not worth it. He's not recouping it. If you have a Nicolas Cage movie for 5 million shot, you will lose $1 or $2 million on that movie. If you have a Jason Statham movie shot for $8-9 million, you will lose $2 or $3 million on that Jason Statham movie. That are the facts now. But that guy's still asking 5 million fee, 5 million fee, 4 million fee. It doesn't make any sense. It's pissing money in the wind, and we have to stop it. And we have to get the actor fees down, because you cannot like get the crew fees more down and down. Maybe 10% here, 10% there, But the main stars have to get down. Basically, everybody has to cut their fees in half to make it worthwhile for independent producers to keep making movies. So that is the reality of the film business right now. It's like the worst money grave in history. What's going on there? Because too many heirs, too many people, they inherit money from that super rich 0.1% in Russia, in China, in India, all the metal steel guys. What idiots. They lost all their money on DreamWorks, Steven Spielberg. It was all gone. It doesn't make any sense to invest that money in the film industry. Stop doing it and leave the playfield to the professionals. And then I will be able to make great movies for $2 million, and there will be Bruce Willis in that movie, and we make out of the 2 million, 3 million. And that is how it should be. And not making out of 20 million constantly 2 million, what happens right now from A to Z. That is what Relativity did. Right? I mean, they cheated around and juggled the numbers, whatever. But in the very, very end, they spent whatever hundreds of millions, and they got only pennies back on the dollar. That is the reality of Ryan Kavanagh's Relativity from A to Z. And that is the reality of most of the companies out there. They find external investors, hedge funds, and all kinds of stuff, but they will all fucking lose their money from A to Z, because it doesn't make any sense and the money doesn't come back. Okay, that was it about the box office of today.
The mark of a great warrior.
to reach home, you must follow the path of courage.
Hazel, where the fuck have you been?
You believe in dragons, Avilo?
Behind me, by the way, all the candy from Halloween from yesterday, all the leftovers. Tonight, when I go to my restaurant, I will actually give it to the homeless. But on the other matters, I'm actively in pre-production of Rampage 3. And so I went to Jamestown, the Wild West city, where we have a big forest, and booked it. There we will have the very sets for Bill. And then I went to the Ridge Studios in Maple Ridge, and we booked it. And so it gets all real, all paid by me. And don't worry, if you put money on Indiegogo, we still have your money, and we still will fulfill all the stuff we did on the campaign. So you get your stuff after we're done, right? If you get pre-bought a DVD or whatever. And in January, beginning of January, we will shoot, and we shot already in Washington, D.C. He said, you have to go to Washington, you have to rip the White House apart. So that is already done. And then in summer next year, I will be in Germany on the theatrical tour again, all across Germany. And I hope, of course, I get invitations for a lot of festivals who maybe show in their festivals, like Austin, Alamo Film Fest, Montreal, or some. Maybe they do a Rampage night and show all 3 movies and invite me to it. It would be nice if Rampage 3 would finally have a theatrical appearance in America and Canada too. So that about this. And where I was, for example, and another subject matter is the Syria crisis, with all the refugees coming to Europe, mostly to Germany. And close by my house in Mainz in Germany, they opened up a home also for refugees. And when I was there in summer, they first, so the kids came over, ate some apples, and the parents came over, ate from my trees, all kinds of stuff, but they were not really asking me. I said, okay, but they didn't care, so they just did it. And then they stole a bike from my stepdaughter. I drove over, got the first kid actually drove that bike when I drove over there. And then I took the bike in my car and drove back. But that is all, 1 million refugees is just too much for Germany. And now the right corner people coming back out on the streets, Pegida and so on, they have big demonstrations against the migration, against the people coming in. And I think also, as a common sense person, how I am, that is just too many. And it will have a negative influence on German culture, and especially also on the German society. Because they basically will be all for years and years on social welfare. They don't speak the language, they have to learn the language. It will cost Germany $100–200 billion to get that problem under control. And the other EU countries in Europe, they only want to be in the EU as long as they benefit from it. Like Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary, Poland, whatever, right? So they love it to have the euro and the open borders and stuff like this. But now they have to step up to the plate, and should take war refugees too. They don't want to do it, and they give a shit about the EU. And that is the problem with the EU in comparison to the United States of America, is there is, in a way, that mentality, there is a way out. You know, and I don't see that in US. I don't see in US, what about Texas? Maybe Texas, yes, but maybe other states. They don't really think we can just leave the fucking United States of America and then we are a single territory state. Texas, so they can have their own Olympic team, their own NHL or whatever. They can still play in all the football stuff and hockey stuff, whatever, and basketball stuff. But it's not really on the agenda. It's not really there. And in Europe, I have the feeling that refugee crisis right now could end up in an absolutely disaster and in a broken up EU. And then it's the question what happens to the currency, like with the euro. And right now, Germany handles it wrong because the message from Germany first was we take everybody. So all the other countries relaxed and felt like put everybody in a bus, in a train, as long as they're going to Germany. And that now changes rapidly with, when I was in summer in Germany, there were around 100,000 refugees. And now there are on 850,000 refugees, and they will have over 1 million refugees up at Christmas. And that is, of course, an absolutely disaster. And it's not, you cannot handle it. It's not like putting people up and give them soup every day. It's about give them a new meaning of life, a new goal. A lot of them are Muslims. And I saw a documentary and the woman said, I could only save my kids and the Quran, and you should say, no, the Quran you should throw in the fucking garbage can. And you should now open your eyes and give the kids a real chance to grow up in a way, in a free country. Nobody's really free, even in a democracy, but it's a little different. You're not getting hacked into pieces because you say something wrong. So that is the thing. And I really hope that Germany and the other EU countries will get a grip on the situation and dividing up the refugees, and that is the thing what ultimately has to go. If the ISIS stays strong, if the ISIS is still in the area for too long, they have to have a peace 50-kilometer wide thing from the African coast where the NATO protects the refugees and builds their towns and refugee homes there, and where a massive, of course, military is there, so that nobody goes on the boats anymore. Nobody tries to cross the Middle Ocean to get over to Greece, to Italy, to wherever they want to go, and that they really, really stay where they came from. And then we hope with the military action happening against the ISIS, that the ISIS will get defeated, loses, and that they can go back home. And the other thing, what is an extreme mistake, is that the US is so eager, and Europe too, so eager to remove Assad in Syria. Of course he's a military dictator, but that family was ruling Syria for 40 or 50 years, and there was almost no war. It was peaceful, and after the bad experiences in removing Gaddafi, Saddam, Mubarak, and all the other guys, all that countries now are in total chaos. So why not really using this time, no, let him be, what the fuck, let him win even, because they feed the rebels with weapons and say Assad is a dictator, we have to get rid of him. But he will not get replaced by a westernized, a democratic party. He will get replaced by Muslim fundamentalists who has nothing else to do as to build the next fucking bombs to attack Europe, Israel, USA, and bomb everybody away. So it is a big mistake to not join forces with Russia, who supports Assad, and Iran, who supports Assad. We should join forces with them, keep Assad in power, and focus on the one big enemy, Islam fundamentalists and the ISIS and Al-Qaeda people, and just help other countries, not doing our own, help the other countries to fight them with better weapons and wipe them from the earth. So, it looks good, like ashes from the Quran and the ashes from the ISIS guy who got pulverized, right shoulder to shoulder. That is what I want to see. Okie dokie. And now I go in my restaurant. I have already my fancy white shirt on, and will maybe have a Wiener Schnitzel. Good night.
You Carnby? Edward Carnby? You said you'd get us into the coroner's office so I can see the bodies?
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
It reacts to light.
Signs. A witch's mark.
As a result, you're going to see things. Visions. Now, we need to know exactly what you see, and in particular, we need to know the location.
He doesn't have much time. We need your help.
I made my peace with the occult. I don't bother it. It doesn't bother me.
There has to be another box. A green army crate with a red cross on it.
Where's Natalie?
I saw her. I saw her face.
Give it to me, Natalie. Bring me the dagger.
She's coming!
You're fighting a witch that's hundreds of years old.
Hello, here's Uwe Boll. So 2 days ago, in Paris were further terror attacks from Islamistic fundamentalists based in the ISIS, and 150 dead people. And that brings a few real problems up, what Europe now and my home country Germany face, because Germany got already 1 million Syrian refugees within 7-8 months. Europe gets like flooded with Muslims. And the question is, how many like possible terrorists hiding in that masses of people coming over? So I think the risk is too high that we're getting infiltrated by too many fundamentalist Muslims. And I think I would give shelter only war refugee families with small kids, but single men in the age between 17 and 35, I would definitely send home right away and don't let in anymore. We have now a situation in Paris, for example, is 1/3 of the population are Muslims. I was in Paris at a film festival years ago, and when I went in the night, walked back from the movie theater to the hotel, and there were like only black people on the street, thousands, all Muslims, and the women were at the burqa on and stuff like this, crazy. And that was years and years ago, so it got only worse till then. And the other thing is, I still think we need a peace zone in Africa, North Africa, Egypt, whatever, where we basically, with NATO troops, give refugees a chance to hide, and we defend them there, and so that they don't get into Europe anymore. And then when the civil war at one point ends, they can go back home, or they build their own new life in the north of Africa, and the boat is full. It's like really like we as the Western civilization of Europe and US and Canada, and I mean US and Canada is like blocking everything, so they're not getting a lot of that people. More like 95% are stranded in Europe, and the problem is what I have also is the Muslims are basically better prepared and more fanatic as any other religion, and they did the turn to the worst. Like the original Islam is not really like kill everybody who doesn't believe and go and actually do it. So but for me, it looks like from the 1.2 or 1.3 billion Muslims on the planet, are maybe 100 million militant. 100 million really want to kill everybody. And then you have another 400 million who are sympathizing with it, who will not like out that people. And that is the thing, what actually has to happen with the ISIS. There are like 50,000 ISIS fighters. Of course, they are very, very good prepared there because they're mostly Iraqi ex-soldiers from Saddam Hussein who are not religious at all, but they instructed ISIS and trained them and working for them. And because America didn't want to work with them, they dumped them. And so they found a home at ISIS. The problem is now, like, we cannot help the whole world. And we cannot actually solve all the problems in the world. But I think we have the right to ask the Muslims on the planet to get rid of ISIS. The Turkish, Iran, all that countries, they have 100,000 of soldiers under arms, each country. And if they want to really get rid of ISIS, and Turkey is a NATO partner, they have to wipe them out. They have to put boots on the ground. They're not flying in, they're just walking over. And then they have to fight them and kill them and get rid of them. Because they will also better get peace with the survivors and with the families. And they also are better in the kind of secret service stuff because they speak the language. And they can infiltrate better, and they get maybe more witnesses or more people when they, for example, take a town that people like ran on the ISIS people, because the ISIS people will just drop their wardrobe and sitting there like me and say, "Hey, no, we're free," and it will act like they were never part of the ISIS. And that's the reason, like the whole airstrikes, it doesn't bring anything because it only killed tons and tons of civilians, and it never solves a problem for real. So the problem is really, we have to face it that is basically a guerrilla war, and at the same time, we also should stop the refugees coming into Europe, and should have a peace zone in North Africa, and at the same time, making the rest of the Muslims stepping up and fighting them, and making them pressure also to say, fight them and fight them now, because that benefits them. We let Iran more things go with the nuclear stuff, whatever, like with the nuclear plans and whatever, like we have Turkey as a NATO partner, who Turkey turns into totally Islamic state right now, like a fundamentalist state with Erdogan. But that are the things where we have to talk to them and say, if you want to be part of the NATO, in the future, you better get rid of the ISIS. We cannot just have the only reaction to the terror attacks for most of the people. Politics also in Germany was, nobody can blackmail us. We live our life. And the biggest message we can send to the terrorists is, we are not bending down. We live our life. We still go to restaurants. We still go to concerts, whatever. But let's face it, the ISIS, they're laughing their ass, laughing about it because they don't care. They have a totally different mindset. They want that everybody lives with the Sharia, and whoever doesn't live or doesn't want to live with Sharia has to get killed. So if we say, but we are not afraid of you, then we better put some action in place to show them we are really not afraid of you, because we will fucking wipe you out if you don't do this. And that is what I mean with the Muslim states around and in the states where the ISIS operates. They really have to start fighting them, and we happily sell them weapons, So and then they have to defeat ISIS, and they have to take the caliphate back, and the Islamic State has to dissolve. Because otherwise, if it erodes more and you have more and more and more terror attacks, then at one point Le Pen will get elected, or a very right conservative Republican in the US. And then they're getting like carpets of bombs. And then millions and millions and millions of innocent people will die. Because we cannot have terrorists determine our lives. So we basically have to send the message to the Muslims: you clear that problem up, or we clear you up. You know, and that is the thing. It's like, you know, like in a lot of the discussions, they never go that second part, what I just said. But that is the only thing what they will understand. And it has to be crystal clear, like whatever. If we have every 2 weeks things like in Paris, let's say we have something like this in Germany, then we will just kill them all, you know, and then it's over. And then we suck the oil out of the ground because there's nobody left. You know, we know that the Saudis financing the terror, but they're our friends because they trade the oil with us, but we also can just fucking kill them and take the oil. You know, it's not the biggest thing. And that is the thing. It's like, why, when nobody plays fair and like you cannot live your normal lives anymore, how we defend our freedom?
I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them.
Sam, I am.
Not guilty.
Get off of this way. So, here's Uwe Boll, and I have to say something. I couldn't say it earlier because I was at the American Film Market, but I want to say it. I think it's absolutely ridiculous what's happening right now with Quentin Tarantino, that he actually gets almost prosecuted and gets threatened by the police because he says the truth. I mean, the police in the USA is visible since we have so many YouTube videos, like so many videos basically filmed with the car cameras, the helm cameras, the uniform cameras, or from bystanders, that the US police turned into a psychopathic army of militarists and crazy people. You know, there are various things where it's crystal clear. Watch the teaser of Rampage 3, there you see one of the actions where police officers murder people. And I think Tarantino in the Bill Maher show said absolutely how it is. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And we have to call murder murder. And in 20 years ago, you could have a fist fight with a police officer. That will never happen because the police officers all turned into psychopathic pussies who are nothing else as grabbing their gun if they control your driver license because they are psychos. So, hello, here is Uwe Boll. I was now 10 days away, basically, to the LA Film Market, the AFM, the American Film Market in Los Angeles, where all the buyers from all the movies from worldwide coming together and buying movies. And as always in the Loews Hotel in Santa Monica, it was packed with people in the beginning. The first 2-3 days, I thought, oh, the film market maybe turned around in a positive way. But then the reality kicked in and the film market is absolutely horrific and absolutely catastrophic. The independent movies are dying. And the tendency that you have the $200 million movies like Avengers, etc., getting made by the majors,
And the TV shows are all over the place, where you do a TV series and it's a big success. All the big actors playing in TV series, so the actors are hard to get now for $2, $3, $4, $5 million independent movies. They have no interest to play in that anymore. So now pre-sales working only with absolutely E-list, like A-list names, but even big stars like Schwarzenegger or Bruce Willis or whatever, like they would made $15 million in pre-sales 10 years ago. Now they make $3 million in pre-sales. And if you made a $1 million movie, you will maybe earn $100,000, $200,000 back. If you made a $100,000 movie, you maybe earn $40,000, $50,000 back. It is like a downward spiral, and it's unbelievable. And then you have tons of like channels like whatever here, the Kings of Horror, BlueSky.com on a YouTube channel, whatever. They come and then they pick up your movies for $1,000, you know. And but with that kind of money, you just cannot keep making movies. And that's the reason in the market we're already like tons of movies that were shot with $10,000-$20,000, and they're just absolutely absolutely disaster, you know. So that was our catalog for the AFM. And I mean, we have a lot of my old movies are for sale again, like Blood Rain, House of the Dead, whatever. But we had also, of course, Rampage 3, and then King Cobra with James Franco, Christian Slater, based on a true story, or Jack Goes Home with Rory Culkin, Britt Robertson. So we had good product to sell, but as I said, it's a horrific time, horrific market for independent movies, and I don't know the solution. I know only one thing, that my movie 12 Hours, where I made Nicolas Cage an offer, I will postpone and basically cancel. And I think I have to reevaluate the position in the film industry I am in. I was able to do some sales for Rampage 3 coming up. And we shot, as you know, the teasers on YouTube. So we shot Rampage 3 in Washington, D.C. already footage. And then we will shoot, beginning of January, the rest of Rampage 3. I'm very excited about it, and that will be maybe my last movie, actually. So there is, I don't see any, I will lose money on Rampage 3, clearly, but it's worth it to do it, to finish the story, to finish maybe my film career, and to have a good out, basically. So I will pack everything in Rampage 3, what I have to say, and so on, that it's kind of a final message. So that was it. The American film market, as I said, was horrific. Also, like, the food in Santa Monica gets worse and worse. But I was in an excellent restaurant, Providence, on Melrose in Hollywood. Best restaurant in Los Angeles. Best food I had the last 2 years. Amazing. Like, really, really good. And so there's nothing else to say about the American film market. What I didn't say in an earlier podcast, or didn't say about the film industry before. I hope it will get better, and I hope that all that teenagers and everybody who's out there and illegal streams movies and illegal watches movies are aware that that killed the independent films. That killed the DVD market, and all the big streamers like Netflix, whatever, they buy the big stuff. They don't buy the small independent movies. And so basically, the people that want to make independent movies are the same people that destroyed it in illegal downloading it. And with that piracy, it's over. You know, Rampage 2 is on YouTube. Were over 1 million illegal views on Rampage 2, with over 150 different links to Rampage 2. You shut down one link, the next link pops up. For me, YouTube is illegal. YouTube is the same like BitTorrent. YouTube is like Kim.com. YouTube is like an illegal provider, but they gain more and more value with YouTube. It's owned by Google, right? So it's ridiculous. YouTube should pay billions of bucks a year for the illegal content you can watch on YouTube. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous and totally not okay. So yeah. That was my first message after the American film market in November 2015.